comes from 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉. So they've sent me 2 polygels. This is Ice Blossom and Blush Peony. And so there you can see they are individually packaged. And it says here, true hybrid between hard gel and acrylic. So we're going to open this up. And let's see. They are 21-free formula, HEMA-free, cruelty-free, palm oil-free, and vegan. And so I've never used polygel before, so we're going to figure this thing out. So not only did they send me these 2 polygels, but they sent me their polygel brush as well. So thank you to 𝑻𝒊𝒔𝒉 for sending me these 2 polygels to try. At the moment, I do have on the color Perfect Red. It's been on for about a week and some change, and you can see my left hand is perfect. I got grow out or whatever. I actually ended up going to a wedding in the Dominican, and the colors were red and purple, and they wanted guests to incorporate red and purple, so I chose to use Perfect Red, and I accented it with a nail stamp with double hearts. And so you can see my right hand not living its best life. We got some chipping, but the left hand is perfect. So I'm going to remove this, and we're going to get into this polygel application. But before I go, 𝑻𝒊𝒉 also sent me 5 gel polishes as well. These are just regular colors, not from a specific collection. They've already have been released. But we have Baby Pink. Okay, that's this color here. We have Baby Blue, giving gender reveal vibes. And then we also have Bold White. And I was just looking at Sandra's Sparkly Sets, her channel, and she had Bold White. And I was like, well, I don't need another white. And then 𝑻𝒊𝒉 sent me this Bold White. And I was like, oh, great. Because it is a nice and vibrant white compared to the other whites that I have. And then we have Little Secret, which is a nice pastel green as well. I mean, well, nice pastel. They're all pastel. And then this color is Day Star, which to me is like a pastel neon orange. And so here are these 5 colors along with the 2 polygel colors. And they did come in separate packages, but I didn't want to do 2 separate videos showing these products. So yeah, nice colors. So again, thank you to 𝑻𝒊𝒉 for continued collaboration and sending me their products to feature on my channel. So here I have removed the gel polish on my right hand, and I'm just pushing my cuticles back with my cuticle pusher, and then I'll go in with my glass cuticle pusher with the pointy edge and kind of clean up any cuticle that's on the nail bed so that it helps with adhesion. And so that's what I'm doing here. Now this video I had to end up recording 3 separate times because again, this was my first time using polygel. Now the first time I went in and applied 𝑻𝒊𝒉's peel off base coat and then rubber base coat, and it here are some nail tips, but then it took an act of Congress to get it off. And actually to this day, actually, what is today? Today's April 19th, Saturday, April 19th, that I'm doing this voiceover. And I actually recorded this video last weekend, and then I had to re-record tonight to attempt the polygel again. So initially, I went in with the rubber base coat like I did 𝑻𝒊𝒉's primer and Young Nails Protein Bond. And I'm going in and kind of etching that peel off base coat on my nails because I thought they would just peel off easy, but I actually had to soak my first polygel attempt off and then kind of dripping off the brushes, overloaded. So once I get that peel off base coat on all of the nails, I cure my LED lamp for 60 seconds. And so I did apply rubber base coat, and so I have this is the set I recorded tonight that I'm doing this voiceover, Saturday, April the 19th. And so I have some almond shaped nail tips here from Amazon, and so I'm going in with the rubber base coat. The first attempt I used square nail tips, and so this time I'm using the almond. I have this little lamp here from Tay. It's magnetic, and I'm just turning it on using the rubber base coat inside of the nail well, the well of the nail tip, and then I'm just pressing that on the nail. And then this just gives it a flash cure. Once I have all of the tips adhered, I do cure in my full hand in my LED lamp for a full 60 seconds. And so with the nail tips, adhering those with the rubber base coat, some of it did seep out of the nail well onto the actual nail bed, and I just off camera kind of filed the nails, filed that lump down. I really didn't need to since I was using polygel, but This is my first time kind of doing this, or my second attempt doing this. And so it's a learning curve. I mean, not too bad of a learning curve, but I mean, it works. I actually like adhering tips this way better than nail glue. So I have all of the tips on. I did file off camera, and then I went in off camera and applied rubber base. And so I'm going in with the blush peony, which is kind of like a sheer polygel with like pink sheer. And so I'm going in now. My first attempt, again, I didn't want to put all that footage in here because it would have been a long video. Here I still don't know what I'm doing, but on my first attempt I realized I was putting too much alcohol on the brush, and it was just saturating the nail, and I end up having lumps and bumps in the polygel. And it's really soft. I was tapping too hard, making divots in the polygel. So I did end up putting too much on the pinky. It's okay. I kind of fixed everything with fouling and buffing. But, you know, I'm using alcohol off to the side to pat the polygel in place. And you'll see I kind of lose the shape of the nail. Again, this was a learning curve, but I do... I do my best. I do my best because this is my first time using polygel. Sorry, I get out of frame a little bit. So the pinky and my ring finger, those things were tore up. So I'm just trying to pat it in place, and that nail is so misshapen, it's ridiculous, but anyway, so I'm just patting that polygel, and if you feel like your brush is sticking to the polygel, you want to re-dip it in the alcohol. And I'm just using like a little alcohol container that I have that I keep alcohol in. It's like an alcohol pump. And so that way I'm not dipping, because the first time I used like it was a little heart-shaped dish from a Maniology subscription box that I was using, and I found myself dipping my whole brush inside of the into the alcohol, and by using a little pump applicator with the alcohol, I didn't have as much. So I'm just trying to reshape that nail, the polygel, to the nail. And so I'm grabbing some more, and I'm just using that spatula. One thing I found with the spatula, with that ring finger, it was sticking to the spatula. And so again, I've never used polygel before, which is a blend between acrylic and hard gel. And so this nail, I think it was a little better than the pinky, but it was still misshapen. And so I'm just kind of lightly patting that polygel into place on the ring finger. And I don't show all nails on camera because it took me forever. Again, learning curve. And so the goal is to try to get the polygel as smooth as possible, because if you get it smooth, then that's going to be less fouling and buffing that you have to do. But yeah, I did the best I could do, but ultimately I think they turned out great for the second time using polygel. And I even tried, like off camera, I tried dual forms. I had ordered some dual forms from Amazon. They didn't work well. And I left that footage out too, because I recorded that, left that out because the polygel was just smushing out of the dual form, and then I was trying to clean that up with alcohol and the polygel brush, and it was just a mess. But this one I forgot to mention, I did use UNT Peel Off Base Coat, because the first time I did this, even though I used Madam Glam's gel peelable base coat, I still had to soak them off, and I still have polygel, a little bit of polygel left on my nail bed. I just was like, forget it, or gel, or whatever it may be. And so I'm doing one more nail, because by the time I got to that third or this fourth nail, I thought it was a little bit better. So you can see my pinky is the worst. That's the first nail I did. My ring finger is not as bad as the pinky, but it is bad. My middle finger turned out decent. And so I was like, okay, let me just hit record again on the camera. And so here I'm doing my index finger, patting that patty gel into place as best as I can. And you don't have to do it heavy, and I know it looks like I'm heavy-handed with it, but this video is sped up. And if y'all hear laughing, that's my husband downstairs laughing. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and why is he in here laughing at stuff on TV? I don't know, but anyway, I digress. And so again, on my ring finger, index finger, sorry, I'm just patting that poly gel into place as best as possible. I'm trying not to lose the shape of the nail, but I think overall I end up fixing this with fouling and buffing. So even if you get a wonky nail like these nails are, Fountain and buffing is your friend. And so and I did foul and buff off camera because it took me a while to fix these nails. So once I get all of the polygel into place, I do cure for 60 seconds. So here are the nails after curing. I do wipe them off with alcohol. Here was my first attempt with these nail tips. They were too wide for my hand. I chose the wrong sizes. And so that was my first attempt. Now here's my second attempt with the almond shape. This is after fouling and buffing. I removed the fouling and buffing dust. Like I said, you can fix it. Look, they don't look so misshapen now, do they? So I did wipe the dust off and then wipe the nails down with alcohol. So off camera, I did apply base coat and cure for 60 seconds. So I'm going in, out of the colors that they sent me, I'm going in with Daystar, which is kind of like a pastel. To me, it gives kind of neon vibes, but like pastel neon. I'm applying a thin coat of that to the nails, and then I'm going to cure for 60 seconds in my LED lamp. I then do a second coat to all of the nails. I don't show all nails on camera, and cure for 60 seconds. Now, do you have to apply base coat? No, I'm just habit of applying base coat before I do gel color if I did not have any type of nail enhancement on. These popped off tonight, the same night that I did them, and I wanted them to because we're hosting Easter tomorrow at my house. We're doing like an Easter cookout with my family and my both sides of my family and my husband's family. So that's what we're doing, and so after 2 coats of curing, I'm going in with the Maniology stamping plate, and this is an Easter theme plate I think that says 552. And so I'm going in with a color from Maniology. I think it's Cloudy, just to stamp a background, but you really couldn't see it. And then I stamped in the middle of that with the color, I think it's called, oh, I can't think of the name of it, but I do stamp Happy Easter Day, just to do something real quick and simple for Easter, because my plan was to upload this for tomorrow, which will be Easter Sunday. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter, and if you don't celebrate Easter, you don't celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, then I just hope you have a wonderful day in general and a wonderful week. And so I'm just stamping that on the nail, and then I just stamped one nail, and then I'm going to go in and stamp Happy Easter Day in the middle of that middle finger. And then off camera, I do top coat with Madam Glam's the no wipe top coat, and then I cure for 60 seconds. So as previously mentioned, I do go in with Madam Glam's No Wipe Top Coat and cure for 60 seconds in my LED lamp. So here is the finished look with these nails. I don't know if I like the color against my skin tone. It makes my skin look significantly darker than what it really is. Plus, it's against the white background. So guys, please like this video if you found value. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And subscribe to my channel. It's free $99. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.